new album, like I said, it is what I was expecting from Evergrey, but with a couple little different things, but we'll get to that.
Hey, what's up? This is Nick.
This is Brady.
And this is Mark from 6th Century, and you're listening to the Krash Kourse Metal Show.
What is good, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to another Krash Kourse album review, and today we're going to be doing the brand new album 2024, came out in June here, and that is Evergrey's Theories of Emptiness. So if I'm not mistaken, this is their 14th studio album, and like I said, it did come out in June of 2024. And as far as I can remember, I think it does have the same lineup as the previous album here from 2022, A Heartless Portrait, which I did do a review to this album a couple months ago, and if you guys want to check that out, click the link right here. But I did enjoy that album. Spoiler alert, I did enjoy that a lot. So I was quite interested because A Heartless Portrait was my first album that I got into from Evergrey. And I haven't looked back because I did pick up two of their previous catalog albums, like early on, pre-2006. And I haven't listened to them yet, actually. But I will get to it, I promise. But I certainly had to pick up the brand new one. And I hear all kinds of great things about it. Other reviews so far of people loving it and stuff like that. But let's jump into what I think about it here. And I will say, right from the start, the song Fallen from the Sun was a single to announce basically that they're going to be coming out with a new album. And then the second single is Say, which we actually did a reaction video to that too, which was crazy at the end because obviously Jonas ends up departing from the band. And so this is his last album. So since we're talking about the band, let us introduce here who is on this album. So you have Tom, you have Jonas, you have Ricard, Johan, and then Henrik. So like I said, this is pretty much the same band as the previous album, A Heartless Portrait. So they're clicking. They sound really good here on the new album, Theories of Emptiness. So yeah, you have 10 tracks here on this new album, which technically one of them, the ending track, is kind of just like a extended outro track. It's like 2 minutes or so. It's one that I don't really listen to, but it does fit in the album. When you listen to the album, it's cool, but just not one that gets put on the iPod. But no, so you start out with Fallen from the Sun. Like I said, that was a single, video single as well. Really good. What you expect from Evergrey. That's kind of like what I'm going to be saying a decent amount. That's the big thing. One of the big takeaways about this album, at least for me anyway, because like I said, I just got introduced to Evergrey with the previous album. So that is going to be my thoughts on Evergrey, I guess, kind of no matter what, because that is the first impression. But the new album, like I said, it is what I was expecting from Evergrey, but with a couple little different things, but we'll get to that. So you get to the second track, Misfortune. Another good one. I like the kind of like gang vocals, if you will, in the chorus and such. Really good, really stands out. Really chanting, if you will, type of singing and sound. So track number 3, To Become Someone Else, is really good too. I don't know. Evergrey has been impressing me. Everything that I've been listening to, like whether on YouTube or previous albums or whatever comes out, they impress me. So To Become Someone Else, another one. So you kind of get more on the mid-tempo side here of things, but still really, really good. And the lyrical content though throughout the album is pretty good. And everything that I listen to, especially with like A Heartless Portrait, I really dug the lyrical content and stuff on that album. Same thing with this album as well. More of a atmospheric, if you will. It might even be a little more atmospheric, I think, than the previous album, A Heartless Portrait. So that's interesting in and of itself. I dig that as well. And so you move on to track number 4, which is the second single, Say, which is really good, heavier song, does have a decent solo in it, which, since I did bring up solos, I will say for this album, the new album, it's more of, because that's what attracted me to A Heartless Portrait, and the singles off of that was the guitar solos, the back and forth duos. It's somewhat missing here on the new album. It's not as upfront, it's not as important, I guess, if that's the right word. Because like on A Heartless Portrait, it is kind of like in a lot of the songs in your face. But on this album here, the new one, it's in spots. It's there on some songs, but it's more pick your spots type deal. It's not on every single song. But I gotta say, there's Say has a good solo, really good, heavier song, good single as well. So you move on here to Ghost of My Hero, which is more kind of like a ballad, which kind of reminds me of a little bit of like talking to like a parent or just like a hero in general of yours that you look up to, and just the ghost of them, like say if they pass away or something. That's just kind of the thing that I think about with this song. So I really dig this on one of my favorites on this album, but it is on the slower tempo side of things. But I gotta say, a lot of this, or I would say at least half the album, the atmosphere of this album is more on the mid-tempo side of things. They certainly slow it down, probably a little bit slower than even A Heartless Portrait to compare it with. But moving on to the next track here, you got We Are the North. I will say this is one that I didn't really care for right from the start when I first listened to it, and even on the last listen to it that I did today, probably the 10th time or so. And it's just okay. It just kind of feels like it's trying to be a heavier song just for the sake of being a heavier for the album. I don't know. It's just okay to me. It probably won't make the iPod. So you move on here to The Night Within. Here we go. We're back. The 7th track. We're back into the wheelhouse here with Evergrey. Really good. Moving on here, track number 8. You do have Cold Dreams, which is like I said, another slower paced song, more mid tempo. It is kind of like a duet between Jonas and Selena Englund, so that's interesting in of itself. And I dig this I dig this song. As much as like I'm saying, like it's more of a mid-tempo type pace. It's not boring at all, which I wouldn't say I necessarily prefer that, but it's not boring though. Nonetheless, I can actually I tend to gravitate more towards that stuff more times than not. Not saying I necessarily love it more, but it just doesn't kind of matter like what really mood you're in, unless you're partying or something like that. Then that's yeah, maybe not. But I do really dig the mid-tempo type stuff here lately, and Evergrey's this new album certainly hits some of that spot for me. And then track number 9 here, our Way Through Silence, another slower mid-tempo song, really good. This is probably would be one of the most mainstream or radio friendly, I would say, song on the album. I certainly one of them. Because like I said, a lot of these slower to mid-tempo ones you can put on any type of radio, and I think anyone, even if you're not a metal fan, would be into it. And then, like I said, here, the final track, A Theory of Emptiness, the type of track, is just basically kind of like an extended outro track to the album. So, like I said, it's not going to be on the iPod. But a good way to finish the album, though, too. It kind of like you're in this headspace the whole way throughout the album, and it's just nice to finish off on something like that, too, to kind of be like, oh, yeah, this is what we just listened to. This is just the journey that we just went through and listened to all these songs all the way through on the album. But no, I would say for right now, the ones that I've been enjoying the most is Ghost of My Hero, Misfortune, and maybe even Fallen from the Sun. That one actually really grew on me, because like when that first came out, I was like, okay, this song's okay, but nothing better than like on a Heartless Portrait or any of the other songs I heard from Evergrey. But as time's moving on and I'm like listening to it within the context of the album, I'm actually really enjoying it more than I did before. But yeah, those are the three songs that I would say that if you want to check out this new album, check those out first, and then you'll kind of get somewhat of a feel of the album. But because I ranked Heartless Portrait pretty high, but I think this is, I don't like it as much, but it's still good. I still can I can see myself in a couple months still wanting to listen to this album when I listen to Evergrey. I think it's still not a letdown by any means. I honestly I would give it a 3.5, 3.5 out of 5. That's where I'm at with this. I did, like I said, I did rank Heartless Portrait higher, but I think that has everything that checked off a lot of boxes for me with guitar, lyrical content, just great song musicianship throughout. But this is not a bad follow up at all by any means. So I'm giving this 3.5 out of 5. But yeah, definitely check out Ghost of My Hero if you're more into like the somewhat ballady, emotional type, slower stuff, metal songs. Check out Ghost of My Hero, and then Falling from the Sun and Misfortune. I really dig those chanting vocals in that song as well. But guys, let me know about what you think of the new album from Evergrey. It did come out on what, Napalm Records. So Napalm's been putting out, oh, it has been always pumping out some stuff. But guys, let me know what you think of the new release from Evergrey. Tell me what you think of Evergrey in general as well, if you heard of them before. They've been around since 1993, so they have a decent amount of catalog that we gotta go catch up on. And guys, thank you for watching this crash course review of Evergrey's brand new album, Theories of Emptiness. And click the like button, click the subscribe button if you guys enjoyed this as well. It just helps out with all the algorithm stuff. We don't know all that, what YouTube does behind the scenes, but what we do like to do is bring you the unknown and forgotten bands from the past, present, and future. So if you're down with that, come hang out with us. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, check out this one right here.